Installing the inevitable. And I guess while he gets all his stuff figured out, hello YouTube! What's going on? This is Harmonic Inferno, and I'm here with my little buddy Trav, or as he's known better on Twitter, Humble Traveler, or as I prefer to call him, Trio Track Paddywhack. We're here with a very special video to me. So, as some of y'all know, I've kind of spent the past few months with Trav, his girlfriend Roxy, my girlfriend slash fiance slash whatever we want to call her because it's the internet, Rain, and a few other friends of ours, and we've been working on a little server. So I'll go ahead and explain all the details after we get through, but here is the map overview of what we got so far. So anyways, if you just keep watching and we'll give you a tour of the area. Go ahead and say this now. I'm sorry if things look really glitchy and really choppy. Part of that's my computer not being very good, and part of that's the server not being very good. But yeah, basically there's two variations of this server. One that we kind of screwed up minorly, and then this one, which is the backup save that I had made. But anyways, I got bored and experimented with some Java code, and I put a little command block right here. And long story, come on, fly. I keep getting the Elytra to work, and there we go. I just need a little run start. I'm like a little airplane, a harmonic airplane. But yeah, there's actually in the other variation of the server, there's a little command block here that has a sword that we dubbed my bitch, in which it does almost infinite everything. Literally, and you go after like a sheep or something. I'll have to find a way to make some B-roll of this at some point, or just make another video about it. You literally can hit a sheep with it, and literally it explodes into millions of lamb chops and millions of wool. Like I don't get it. it just explodes. But yeah, you gonna do your intro yet or no?
What'd you say?
You gonna do your intro yet or no?
I can.
Okay.
Hold on. Do you still want me to go over here?
However you want to do it. Your video.
Okay. Actually, what if I like start recording with Fraps right now? Just like for a minute or two, and then just hack off the end, and then just add my audio like when I start.
Yeah, sure, if you want to.
And then it'll just chop off the choppy part, maybe?
Possibly. Yeah, you can give it a shot.
Okay, that's fine. Let's turn the audio down. Ooh, I forgot. Turn my gain up just a hair. So I can hear you up, hopefully. And me, nice and clearly.
Hopefully.
Yes, always hopefully. Do you want to do, yeah, let's do test recording real quick. So, I can just do something stupid like, hey everybody, look up to Minecraft. My good buddy Harmonic Inferno. Say hi!
Hi.
I did. Okay.
So yeah, while he kind of recovers from that, let me go ahead and just give y'all the quick and dirty overview of this area. Just kind of show you around a little bit, just so you can kind of see it. Long story short, here about, how long ago was it? About 4 months ago, Trev? I acquired my mom's old computer. About 4 months ago? That sound about right? Trav? Anyways, about 4 months ago or so, I kind of acquired my parents'... Oops, I dropped sand. I kind of acquired my parents' old Dell Inspiron 531, which, for those who have ever bought pre-built machines, yes, it sucks. Yes, it needed a lot of work. I mean, it's running, first off, even right now, it's currently running a AMD, what is that? A AMD Athlon X2 64, or I think it's an Athlon 64 X2 technically, but it's like a I think it's the 48 plus model, so it's kind of middle range as far as the as that generation goes, but compared to stuff nowadays, it's terrible. But as far as being a file server slash media server slash Minecraft server, it does it good enough. It's got 4 gigs of RAM in it. And again, like I said, these pre-built systems have some really horrible stuff in them. But considering it was free, minus the price of the RAM, I had to actually replace the RAM in it. The RAM modules went bad. It came with a gig of RAM. Believe it or not, I kid you not. This thing was shipped from factory with like a gig of RAM and Windows Vista, and and not just any form of Vista, the original Vista, because my parents are those weird sticklers that you kind of hear about every once in a while that absolutely hate updating anything. So we had the original launch version of Windows Vista programmed on that thing for about, I don't know, at least 7 years. 7, 8 years. I don't know how I survived that. I wound up getting a laptop, and I learned the magic of Windows 7, I guess. But went for a nuke the hard drive, nearly killed the hard drive, because I had to wipe it out at least 5 times. Oh yeah, by the way, if you ever decide to use, if you're one of those people who are like, what the hell is he talking about with these random details and stuff, if you deban a hard drive with Windows Vista on it, it will not clear out Windows Vista. You're going to need to run it on the full, like, top military security levels of wiping, and you're going to need to run it at least twice just to make sure Vista does not survive, because I did the thing where I did it on what the recommended settings are. I had to do it 3 times before it would finally register that there was an error with Vista. And all of a sudden, yeah, I kid you not. I know that sounds really strange, but Vista will not die to deban. I went to, and this is kind of an accident on my fault. It was a happy little accident. I went and ran deban on that hard drive the first time, and whenever I went, it fully ran deban. I pulled in my secondary flash drive that I had was currently on there, which is Ubuntu 16.04 LTS. What wound up happening is I accidentally forgot to change the boot drive to the flash drive instead of the hard drive, and it loaded up Vista again, perfectly stable. I don't know how deban. Granted, it was, like I said, it's automatic settings. It was the one that's recommended for. Oh, hello there. It was where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Oh, you're using Elytra. Okay. But yeah, it was the part of the recommended settings, and normally it works because I've already refurbed 2 laptops. A E-Machine E442, I think is what it is, and then a some kind of Asus gaming laptop. I don't even know what the serial number on that is. But I've used deban. It worked fine for them. But when it came to Vista, I had to do it twice with the short term, and then I had to run the long term, the full. I think it's like a 12-hour or 15-hour wiping in order for it to actually get Vista where you would turn on the drive. It would recognize that Vista was on the drive, but it wouldn't boot into it because it was a corrupted file or something. So, but it still read that Vista was on there. You want to kind of you want to be the one to explain the town to us?
Yeah. So it kind of all started with the centerpiece, which is like this Greek temple design here. And I don't know, we just kind of branched out. I mean, we started on a village.
Thank God.
All of these, a lot of these buildings here, I think, at least like the first 2 or 3, are still exactly where the original buildings were placed.
Yep. And actually, that fountain, yeah, that fountain there actually was the original fountain to the original village. We just kind of changed it over.
Yeah, it's the square where the well was.
Or, well, fountain, whatever you want to call this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's all, there's still parts of the original there. It was just built up and changed. And then it's not perfect yet by any means, but it's a start.
Yeah, technically we're, technically
It's a
we're,
2 month start.
yeah, we got about 2 months, 3 months into it, and technically this is the, I think this was technically the third update, or the third backup that I made. When I started making backups of this thing, bi-weekly. This was the third iteration. The one that is currently the alternate version I was talking about a second ago, where we kind of destroyed the world a little bit. That one's about that was about another, I don't know, about a month of work, but we kind of took a big break in the middle of all that just to kind of recoup our heads and kind of rethink the way we wanted to go about building this universe.
Yeah.
So I never made a backup. That was my fault entirely. But I didn't get rid of the file. The file's still on the server computer, so that's all good. But I would just have to go ahead and figure all that out. Bah. They see me gliding. They hate and ah. So long story short, this is actually the beginning town, or I guess beginning city, to a adventure map I want to start making. So without giving too much away, you play as a character who is basically an average Joe or average Jane, depending on who you'd like to identify as. And long story short, due to the events of an unfortunate accident, you become against the king of the land, basically. And yeah.
Heretic.
And yeah, you become a heretic against the king, and you must go on an adventure where we have many towns planned kind of about this scale, although they won't be quite as hodgepodge, planned out. And you go on your adventure in order to stop the king from being a king.
Stop the king from being king.
Epic.
Yes.
Something I've been experimenting with because this is actually a major feature in the game so far, is being able to choose in a Minecraft mod what action you want to happen. So ignoring the cussing, because I'm normally I keep things PG-13. I kind of forgot about this, and I should feel even worse that I was showing that to a 7-year-old. But anyways,
My God.
so yeah, basically you have the ability to being a bitch or a hero. Which one do you want?
I choose a hero.
How'd you pick it twice? I'll have to figure out how to fix that later. But yeah, as you can see, he clicks. If you hover over him, you get the subliminal messaging, as I call it, where he's like, "Do you want to be a bitch?" She's like, "Oh, this might not be a good idea." Or if you're a hero, it's like, "I think this might be the right answer." And what are you doing to me? I'm like moving around, like, "What are you doing to me?" But yeah, if you click like that, then you get affected with, in this case, Wither. Or, like, when he chose hero, he got chosen with invincibility, just to kind of test out the possibilities of doing that. This is our market. Like Trav was saying, this area here up front is basically the original village that we spawned on. We went ahead, kind of fancied it up a bit, and then Trav built his nice little center hall / whatever the hell you want to call that, which hosts...
I don't know the name for that type of building. I guess it's technically just a temple. It's
That's what we've been calling it, is the temple. But as you can see, we're basically on an island. A very strange, it's like...
This the map room. This amazing, beautiful map room.
It is. And I think so too. But yeah, we spawned on an island, basically. And as you can see, those are the spoilers. That land over there is called the spoilers. Because spoilers.
Map 23.
Up here is kind of spoilers, but this is where Wonder Man Jack's been helping out. I forgot to mention him in the beginning, too. Yeah, Wonder Man Jack's been helping out with us a little bit, too. This is his project. I think we'll show that off a little bit. Down here is the Badlands, where we kind of wreck stuff with, as you can see, some obsidian. We'll have to go back to that at some point. And
Lit off about 100,000 pieces of TNT.
yeah, and really, we were doing it for educational purposes to stress test the system. Yeah, because, you know, we're responsible adults. These are all warp pads. Oh, yeah, we didn't move the warp pads. Oh, there was a nasty glitch with the way this is set up where probably somebody who actually knows a lot more about Minecraft than I do will probably catch the error here. But with when we ran this originally on 1.9.2, you press like this top button, and for some reason, because I guess it's because it's a powered block that's next to something that's looking for a powered block, it would trigger these to literally run in succession. So player who clicked on this first would go to area 1, then the next closest player would go to area 2, then normally it would be player 1, but they would get shoved to, or the person who put this first one in, they would get shoved to area 3, and because they were also closer than that second village, they would get shoved to area 4, and it would literally just be a spam. And you would wind up in the middle of nowhere because the game just kind of freaked out. But yeah, in the I guess technically the legacy version, as I'm calling it now, we moved 2 of them over here. These little pillars are actually, was it you that designed these or was it me? I think it was me because I just got bored.
Yeah, you designed the pillars.
And then you did the lights. Yeah, so basically, long story short, I got bored one day, and I was like, well, we can. Basically, what I was wanting to do is I'm looking into exploiting the lighting effect off of the beacons, so that whenever you have like a mission over a person or an NPC, it'll show like a little beacon that's certain colored in order to show, oh wait, I need to go over there. So I was kind of experimenting with beacons from the way that they're intended to be used in game, and I designed these little pillars. And basically what these do is in that direction that I'm facing, so towards the desert, and if you go back over to the pillar that I'm looking at now beside the castle thing, if you go to straight across from here, or if you go to the right, there are villages, which are the ones we're going to start working on next. And basically, I wanted to make a system where you can identify local villages by if you're walking, because the way I have the adventure map starting off after the big event, basically you go walking in that direction where you find the next village, and I'll put a single beacon of different colors there, and hopefully, if your computer is a lot better than mine, you'll be able to actually see it from here, or if nothing else, be able to kind of sort of see something. Yeah, this is actually my house.
House, quote unquote.
Yeah, air quotes here. The king is judging you. The king is judging you. As you go inside the king, he's judging you. So, yeah. This is, basically, I don't know what to call this. I'm still kind of figuring things out.
All looking thing.
Do what?
Town hall-ish kind of looking thing.
Yeah, pretty much. I thought about making this a train station at some point, just because it kind of looks like a train station. And also, too, on the other side of this, it's not open like this one is. It's actually just a little window shopping area where you can actually find, assuming I hadn't nuked the world from before, you can actually find, oh, it doesn't have the little command blocks here either. I need to put it on our checklist, too. But I had little villagers here that custom spawned in with what I called healing potions, but it's just potions of regeneration. But there's 2 here. They sit back behind the counter, and yeah, you can kind of explore around here. It needs a little work, but again, we're just kind of strolling through everything. But yeah, I love this view. Whenever the computer's not freaking out and I can set the render distance to like 30 chunks, You probably saw it in the beginning. Had a mountain range over a waterfall, and it just went off into like this mountain range. It actually goes on for about 5 or 6 chunks beyond that, and it's like, oh god, it's gorgeous. But sadly, you gotta record. You have to record content or you have to enjoy content, but you cannot do both. Womp womp.
Yeah.
This little area is just a little park. As you can see, I kind of BS the bridge, but it does its job. So it's like I can't really complain. And also this little rotundrum. So this is actually the thing that Rain really contributed to this build, even with the glitches that we're seeing. This is kind of Rain's idea, though. To be honest, she's wanting this to be an aquarium, which maybe I know there's going to be a purpose to this building. Hello, Trav. But
Hello.
I spent literally at least 2 hours working on this stairway here, so that it not only looked okay from this perspective, but it's exactly mirrored. See if I can fly. Or I gotta do my helicopter takeoff. It's exactly mirrored on both sides. It's kind of hard to tell without all the shading and the OpenGL stuff. But yeah, it's actually perfectly mirrored on both sides, just to make it look a little pretty. And we got another little fountain here. Again, most of this part of the map was actually Rain's idea. She's like, well, you need to make it prettier. And not necessarily in those words, but it's like, it looks so dull, you need to make it look a little better. It's like, well, I mean, there's only so much we can do. But we got the turtle hut. Yep.
All the stone walking way, like around the fountain and such here. It looks really gorgeous.
So far. Yeah, we got the little turtle hut. The one that we accidentally we were kind of experimenting with just kind of random ideas for the just to make tops of buildings, and we came across this one pattern, or we just literally were just kind of bored and like, well, what if we did stairs, and then all of a sudden we just changed it over to blocks, and then just kind of changed it exponentially. Like, that's so strange, it might actually work. But yeah, if you look at it, if you look at it from down here, though, it looks like a turtle shell. Running outside. So yeah, we got.
Hold up. What is this?
Is that one of my Easter eggs?
Yes, it's
Easter egg.
It's a sign.
What?
It's a sign.
Literally, it's a sign.
I'll see myself out.
Yes, go in there and be ashamed. Yeah, this is just kind of was like right outside the village when we spawned in. So, I'll let you explain what you did over here.
Yes, so I did like a redesign of the stairs in here to kind of, oh god, back. I did a kind of a redesign of the stairs here, just kind of make it more streamlined, skinny it down just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. You kind of changed the little design, the clay too.
Yeah.
Clay work.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then put kind of like this clay design here in the center here, just to give it some spice, something different.
Yes.
And then I just put podiums down with signs on them, did the lighting behind each one of them, open this area all up.
And then the Ender Dragon egg.
Oh yes. Oh, this is dragon egg. Beat the living hope right out of the dragons.
Let's see. Let's go into the top level here. I see you creeping over there.
I'm okay.
Yeah, it's just like a big window to the downstairs.
Floor light / skylight thing right here. Of course, the normal hole in the top. I'll put a piece of glass in there.
Always working.
The doors, kind of left it all open, just like down there. Is it open? Oh god, I'm attacking. Die.
There's an attack on Trav.
Oh, but seriously.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Long story short, Rain and I had done a Minecraft world in Xbox One, my Xbox One edition of Minecraft, and sadly it was Wonder Man Jax, and money got kind of tight, so we had to sell the game, and then soon after the actual Xbox itself. So long story short, the world we started building in that version of Minecraft is gone, as far as I'm aware. So I went ahead and literally, while I had the opportunity, I went ahead, took a bunch of pictures of the original, which if I can find them when I'm editing this, I'll put them up on screen. But basically, that would be kind of cool. But basically, same design. Make these little pillars, space them out evenly, and build a bridge. That simple. But yeah, this is same thing with this arch too. What was it? We were literally just kind of having discussions. Like, wouldn't this make it seem like this world like 10 times more badass if we put in this castle thing? And I was like, well, what do we base it off of? It's like, well, we got that Archer Tower, or as what's it actually called? It's like a church or something.
It's, yeah, just it's an archer church tower.
I call it
I
an.
think I have to scratch out design over here and like the temples and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yep.
the church here. We just kind of took that design and
Expanded on it, basically.
made it into like a little castle. The battlements on top.
Made it a little more heavy metal.
Yeah, heavy metal and oh, the fun we had with that. Yeah, because how many times did we have to redo the towers? So we got off.
Oh man, we spent a good 3 hours just getting one of. We decided to split the task up. Like, hey, there's 2 towers and there's 2 of us. Why don't we? Oh, I don't know. Take the same design and build identical towers. And sure enough, it was like you built it so that the bottom 2 floors were right, but the top floor was off. But then I built it so that that middle floor was off, but the bottom and the top floors were right. And it lined up perfectly, across the top of it, but we couldn't get this archway to work. I'm like, what's this all about? I was like, oh, oops.
Yeah, so we had to construct and reconstruct.
Yeah, God, it was a nightmare. But on the bright side, we got this random wool in these little steel cages to help with our national flag, because my computer didn't die or anything. Of course not. We got high. Yeah, you know, Inferno tech. It's foolproof. Go ahead and explain why there's about 50 banners here.
Yeah, so we were experimenting on our quote-unquote national flag, and, well, this is kind of what happened. We just spent time and
Like an hour or so.
lots of dyes, banners, yeah, like at least an hour. Just muddling around with designs and ideas, and God, my mouse sensitivity's freaking out. Just trial and error, a lot of different ideas.
Yeah, basically, like I said, there's gonna be another village. Like you can kind of tell the reason why it's kind of hodgepodge in a sense is just to make sure that everything is separated properly. So, for example, like all of this from the original village is kind of like the uptown area, where it's its own unit, where we kind of expanded. The villages that were over in the desert over here were made out of sandstone, and they actually looked separate from this. As you can see over here in this area, which I'll make this as a nice little segue into this area, it's all made out of wood, in cobblestone or stone.
Kind of a kinda-ish a theme to each area.
But
It's
it,
gonna be.
yeah, but we're getting there. Well, since we're already over here, we got our wonderful little market.
Yes. Whatever town it's gonna be. I mean, I just realized we can kind of do that too. If it's not packed too tightly, each little quote district-ish area can be kind of like its own little town. I don't know. We'll figure that out.
That's what I'm
We'll
thinking
figure
too.
it out. marketplace packed with vendor booths for all kinds of goodies and who knows what.
Yeah. Long story short, the idea came from whenever I was I used to go hang out at flea markets when I was younger, and this is actually kind of looks like the way the flea market I used to go to was set up. Is you'd have these kind of long aisles on the outside of the building, and then the inner side of the building was kind of rounded out. So, and then we got our hotel. This, I know that doesn't look like a hotel, but that's a hotel.
Yeah, I don't know what this looks like. It doesn't look like a hotel.
But yeah, you can see we got these nice little flowers. You got cubicles. Let's start off with the regular room before we show off the bala room. Huh?
Get back here. You must have a reservation.
No, I do not need your reservation. My name is Onyemont, whatever your name is, but you killed my father. You must prepare to die.
Oh my god, you went there.
Yes. I even screwed up his name to make it that much more legit. You can see we have these are nice little hotel rooms. They're granted they're kind of small as far as width and length goes, but you make up all that space in the air.
With a lamp.
Yeah, that gorgeous lamp that's not entirely made out of trapdoors or anything. No, of course not.
Oh, also, I just added these gorgeous little flower pots to each
Yeah.
room.
Like, oh my gosh, they look amazing. Like, OMG. OMG. But yeah, they all look, oh, hello, Donkey Kong.
It's not Donkey Kong. It's
Pixel Kong.
It's Mule King.
What the hell? Okay. We'll roll with that. And then kind of the same thing upstairs. And we'll go upstairs via the baller room.
Oh yes. The baller. God, jeez, Bouncy is freaking out. I gotta figure this shit out.
It's always always up the beat. Whoops. Okay, there we go.
Sitting area with reading because sophisticated people read, of course.
Of course, that's why it's called the baller room, because they bawl over their books.
That made no sense.
That made more sense than Hillary Clinton's Pokemon Go reference. I went there. Ooh.
Baller Suite, as it's temporarily called now, of course, has the famous, kung fu poster. It's got a nice, lovely balcony here.
Yeah, that used to give the person who rented the room out access to destruction of the world via my bitch.
Yes, we had the my bitch command block here for giving out these. There were these amazingly, insanely high-powered servers, as touched on earlier.
Let me go ahead and get the little magic stick of plot convenience out. Huh? That is amazing. But yeah, alright. Let's go ahead and end this episode here. So here's the deal, guys. If you would like to kind of want us to do more of a daily series, or I guess in this case it'd be like bi-weekly series, on the progress of this build, then just leave a comment below. I really want to do this like an actual series of us playing the game, and also try and get more people involved in helping with it as well. But again, we gotta make sure all the resources will work out. So this could be a bit of a stretch. But if there's enough people that's really like, let's see where this is gonna go, and you're kind of impressed with our very ad-libbed demo here, then by all means, leave us a comment, leave us a like, get the word out. We're gonna try and finish this. My stretch goal is get the whole thing programmed and everything by the end of next year, but that could be pushing it a little bit. But anyways, if you like this video and you want to see us do a series, and let us know. And as always, I will see you guys next time.